It's been 9 months since I last released the last part of Unity remakes, and since there are fewer and fewer of them and Battelle is dead, I decided to make this video. Comment if you would like to see more videos like this, and join to my Discord server if you still haven't joined. Let's start. It's been a while and Fall Guys has had a lot of updates, so there will be remakes of levels from previous parts. And the first level is a remake of Slime Climb by Frequent Hair. It's done just great and almost exactly repeats the original. From weird things I can say about this canon, which has been pushed down due to the creative mode bugs, and also this section has no bumpers like the original, but everything else is exactly like the original. There's even Rising Slime, which was made with a lot of rotation controllers. I rate this remake as 10 out of 10 because even despite the weirdness, it's still very similar to the original. The next remake is a remake of Gate Crash. Unlike the remake I made, this one used this construction as gates. And I think it's much better than what I did, because these gates don't rise as sharply. Otherwise it's just very similar to the original. My rating is 10 out of 10. If anything, I rate remakes based on how similar they are to the original. The third remake is a remake of Big Fans, namely its SS2 version. It looks almost perfect, the only difference is the colors that could be chosen from a limited section of colors at the time this remake was made. Also, the whole level has low gravity. I don't really understand why it was done, like I understand that this is the SS2 version, but why couldn't they make regular low gravity zones? But overall this is a good remake and I rate it as 8 out of 10. Next up is the remake of Roll-Off. Almost everything is recreated here, from the rotating cylinders to the background. The only thing missing here is the Rising Slime. I think they could have done it like in Slime Climb remake, because without the slime the level becomes boring. But overall this is a great level, because connecting every object of every cylinder to the rotation controller was clearly not easy. My rating is 9 out of 10. Next remake, Roll On, but before I start talking about the remake itself, I wanna talk about its loading screen. It uses exactly the same picture as the original, which is quite unusual. I can't say how exactly it was done, but it obviously was done with mods. Now let's talk about the remake itself. It's basically the same roll-off, but there are a lot more rotating cylinders, and oh my god, just look at it. Also, the cylinders in the last part are located too high. My rating is 9 out of 10. The sixth remake is a remake of the Swiveller. It also has a custom loading screen, and bro, this level is almost a copy of the original. It has a stadium in the background and objects like the original. The only differences here are the skybox and the polygon count. Other than that, it's just almost perfect. I would also disable the collision of the right part of the floor, as it gets in the way. But at the time this remake was made, that was impossible to do, so it's not so critical. My rating is 10 out of 10. Next remake, Tundra Run, namely its SS2 version. Like the original, there are these hexagons that allow you to short the path, but with the difference that they are all in the vertical position, while in the original they were located differently. Also, instead of these lasers, boom blasters are used here. Also, this remake has a custom background. Otherwise, the remake is very similar to the original and my rating is 9 out of 10. The penultimate remake is Puzzle Path. Everything is great here too, even wormholes that work by invisible checkpoint and elimination zone, but sometimes it may not work correctly as in this video, but it's not critical because otherwise it would be simply impossible to make. Also here I would replace these boxes with balls with physics, because at the time this remake was done it was impossible to do, otherwise the remake completely similar to the original and my rating is 10 out of 10. And the last remake is a remake of Bubble Trouble, namely its SS2 version. I don't even know what to say here since you can see everything by yourself. The only difference from the original is that all locations already have bubbles from the very beginning, while in the original the locations change every few seconds. But this is also a feature of the creative mode, so my rating is 11 out of 10. These were all the remakes for today. Thanks for watching and subscribe, I'll be grateful.